Bayern Munich training session, up close and personal you could call it, and we're fortunate this season that despite the fact that a lot of Bayern key players of course travel with their national teams, we still have a lot of stars to present to you, and one of them is in possession here in the center of your screen, and we're particularly happy to welcome him back to the Bayern training pitch. Thiago, he played his last match for Bayern Munich on March 29th against Hoffenheim. Since then he's been out with injuries to his right knee. A couple days ago, Pep Guardiola spoke about Thiago in a press conference, saying that he hopes he can use this break for national team qualification matches to reintegrate Thiago into the first team, and here he is. It's his first day of training with the full team. We'll see if he can go the full training session, but that's definitely the best news of the day for this man here, Pep Guardiola. Thiago back in team training, and of course Pep Guardiola is watching him. Not only Thiago in this team training today, Dante is here, Sebastian Rode, Philipp Lahm of course, Xabi Alonso, Tom Starke. A lot of important Bayern players. Here is the former captain of the German national team who retired in summer after the World Cup, and 113 caps. During these pre-training exercises, he likes to take over control and count the contacts of the ball. Everything above 20 is a good number here. This time it didn't work. You'll have to excuse the slight delay, by the way. We wanted to start the training session, the live stream, at 11:15, but the players only came out a couple minutes ago. And showing you an empty training pitch would have been beside the point. Here's Xabi Alonso. He also retired from the Spanish national team in summer, to be precise on August 27th, 2014. At the age of 32, he joined Bayern Munich. Two-time European Championship winner, world champion 2010, and a man who's already made his mark in Pep Guardiola's team, sharing midfield with Philipp Lahm at the moment. And I think the fans agree there's rarely, if ever, been a player who's come to Bayern Munich and integrated so quickly. In the recent Bundesliga away match in Cologne 2 weeks ago, he had a new Bundesliga record to his name, 216 contacts of the ball. He shattered a record set by Thiago only last season with 185. And that is testament to how well he's integrated. And Pep Guardiola, of course, enjoys the fact to have players like Lahm, like Xabi Alonso, also now in possession here in a double pass with Thiago. Gianluca Gaudino, still only 17 years old. In this season, 2 Bundesliga games already. He came off the bench twice, against Stuttgart and against Hanover. And he also played in Bayern's first round DFB Cup match against Münster. Here he is, son of very successful Bundesliga player Maurizio Gaudino, and one of the promising talents in Bayern Munich squad. There's, by the way, 8 Bayern players from the youth teams here on the pitch today. That's, of course, a tradition not only at Bayern Munich to add youth players to the pro team training in these national team breaks, because so many players are missing. Of course, the German internationals, minus Philipp Lahm, Manuel Neuer, Thomas Müller, Mario Götze and Jerome Boateng. In 2 days they play against Robert Lewandowski's Poland team. 3 days later Germany encounter Ireland in their European qualification group D. Arjen Robben is missing. Juan Bernat, who was nominated for the first time for the Spanish national team. Here are some of the youth players you might recognize. At the front here of your screen is Philipp Walter, 18 years old. He played for Bayern's pro team against the Paulaner Dream 11 in a friendly game, as did in the center of your screen here Sinan Kurto on the left of your screen now. He joined Bayern Munich from Borussia Mönchengladbach in summer. Also in the background, Leo Zingerle, reserve team goalkeeper. A lot of these youth players, of course, appreciate the opportunity to train with the pro team, but Bayern Munich benefits from them as well. Best example is Gianluca Gaudino, of course, who conducted the entire preseason with Bayern Munich and then actually made it into the pro team. So 8 youth players on the pitch today, 12 Bayern players missing with their national teams. Neuer, Müller, Götze and Boateng for Germany. Robert Lewandowski for Poland. Arjen Robben is traveling with the Dutch national team. They play Kazakhstan and Iceland in the European Championship qualification. Juan Bernat nominated for Spain for the first time. Xherdan Shaqiri off with Switzerland. David Alaba with Austria. Pierre-Emil Højbjerg with Denmark. And then Mehdi Benatia and Claudio Pizarro play friendly games with their respective national teams. In the center now, Tom Starke. He climbs back up the ranks again into the number 2 goalkeeping position following Pepe Reina's injury on Monday. You might have seen that in the Paulaner Cup final. This friendly game against a select 30 really. Pepe Reina, his first touch of the ball in his first game for Bayern Munich immediately led to a muscle injury in his calf. Still not, of course, 100% certain when he can return, but it looks as if he'll be missing for several weeks. This is where it pays off that Bayern Munich have 3 good goalkeepers. Although Tom Starke's lob right here is something we don't necessarily want to see in competitive matches. This national team break comes after a very, very successful spell for Pep Guardiola and his team. From mid-September to the beginning of October, Bayern Munich played 7 games within 3 weeks, winning 6 of them, drawing only 1. That was a 0-0 in Hamburg. And in these 7 games, Bayern Munich conceded exactly 0 goals, 14 scored, 0 conceded. Fantastic month of September leading into October when Bayern Munich won the last competitive game. That was last Saturday, a 4-0 win at home against Hanover. Now the fans can enjoy a couple of public training sessions this week and next week before Bayern Munich have a similar program leading up to November. The next 7 games then start with the home game on the 18th of October against Bremen. And within that 3-week block we have 2 Champions League games against Rome, home and away obviously, the Cup away match in Hamburg, and some interesting Bundesliga games. Bremen at home, Borussia Mönchengladbach away. Gladbach looking very strong in the Bundesliga season so far, in 3rd place after 7 games. And then of course the top match, Bayern Munich at home in the Allianz Arena against Borussia Dortmund on November 1st. The last game in that 3-week block is then an away game in Frankfurt. Let's see if Bayern Munich can remain similarly successful in the Bundesliga table. This unbeaten and goalless run for Bayern Munich, or goalless in terms of conceded goals, led them to the top of the Bundesliga table. They're now 4 points ahead of Hoffenheim and Mönchengladbach in the Bundesliga table. More importantly, though, the main competitors are struggling. Bayer Leverkusen with only 12 points after 7 games and 5 points already behind Bayern Munich. Dortmund, even worse, only 7 points after 7 games and already 10 points behind Bayern Munich. So Leo Zingerle here in goal, the reserve team goalkeeper. He's going to train with Tom Starke during these 2 weeks. You can see Tom Starke, and on the right, Toni Tapalovic.
Okay, 7 blau. Okay. Wechsel, rot, ist egal.
So the warm-up exercises seem to be over. Let's see what the fans can enjoy now. Let's see, this is a one-touch exercise involving nearly all players. This is very typical. Pep Guardiola so involved in the training sessions. It doesn't matter if it's a lot of youth players here or not. Really, in every training session, Pep Guardiola goes as far as telling players which foot to use, when to pass, how to pass, direct, stop or not. And you can see a lot of the Bayern training sessions are about fast passing and about putting pressure on the man in possession so that fast solutions are required. The man in blue, a master, of course, in midfield at exactly this, Xabi Alonso, who's made such an impact on Bayern Munich's game. Alonso, quite similar to Philipp Lahm, who retired after 113 caps. He returned after 116. Again, Euro 2008 winner, World Cup 2010 winner, and then European champion in 2012. And one of his career highlights, I'm sure you all remember, in his 100th cap for Spain, he scored both of Spain's goals in the quarterfinals of the Euro 2012 to send Spain into the semi-finals. Later they won the tournament. A man with great experience on the highest level, and certainly a reason for the Bayern fans to come here. In yellow, Sinan Kurt, the man Bayern Munich are hoping will at some point in the future play an important role for the first team. Here he is, one of Germany's promising talents. Some have compared him to a young Marco Reus in terms of his style. We'll see how he develops. This gives you a bit of an idea here how fast the Bayern players have to react, how much pressure is on the man in possession, and how fierce these training duels are. Good move there by Dante and Sinan Kurt. This is Gianluca Gaudino.
Dante?
Bravo. Bravo. Kilo. Viel besser.
Pep Guardiola obviously happy with that. It's no surprise after such a successful double-winning season last year and such a great start to this season that Pep Guardiola himself has achieved quite a few records.
Okay. Go.
The most recent and maybe most impressive one 2 weeks ago in Cologne, September 27th, Pep Guardiola recorded his 50th competitive win as a Bayern coach in only his 65th game. 8 draws and 7 defeats during that time. No other Bayern coach achieved these statistics since Bayern achieved promotion to the Bundesliga in 1965. Felix Magath and Jupp Heynckes came fairly close. They had 47 and 46 wins respectively in their first 65 games, but this is the record man. We'll see how far he can lead the Bayern team this season. On Saturday, some commentators already jokingly congratulated Bayern Munich to the earliest championship in league history after they already celebrated that last year. Now with the 10-point lead ahead of Borussia Dortmund, Bayern are comfortably in the driving seat in the Bundesliga. So if I'm not mistaken, Thiago has just warmed up, only conducted a couple of exercises with the Bayern team. This is already just a little too rough, a little too risky for the Spaniard, who I think we can see warming up on a side pitch in the background, conducting some laps, some endurance exercises. No surprises there. A couple of players still injured in the Bayern team. Of course, Peperina missing with his muscle injury to his left calf. Holger Badstuber, Javi Martinez, and Bastian Schweinsteiger also out. The fans here, I think some were probably hoping to see Franck Ribéry today. He rejoined training, or he went out onto the pitch for the first time on Tuesday, at least with the ball. He has only been able to play one game this season so far. He came on, Franck Ribéry, that is, after 68 minutes against Stuttgart, and immediately scored a goal to emphasize his importance for the Bayern team. And it was in the third game of the season. Before that, his last game was in the cup final last season. And again, Tuesday, Franck Ribéry trained with the ball for the first time again. Some sprint exercises as well. He looked pretty good there. So in terms of endurance, that shouldn't be much of a problem. But not quite ready for team training yet.
Ja, ich habe ja die Kabellänge, um runterzugehen. Und du hast die vom Objektiv her die Weite, dass du rankommst. Das heißt, ich sollte eigentlich hintergehen, oder? Ich? Ja, immer noch sehr total, also so, dass ich einen Spieler Körper groß drauf habe. Das ist das Nächste.
One of the club policies at Bayern Munich is to be accessible to the fans. Unlike a lot of top European clubs, the training facilities in Munich are not in the middle of nowhere outside of town, but pretty close to the center, really. And on the website, the fans have the opportunity to receive information which training sessions are open to the public and which are not, particularly during the holiday times. Sometimes there are thousands of fans here at Munich Siebener Street, and there's a fair amount of fans here today as well, using this opportunity in this beautiful day. And again, Bayern Munich encourages the players after the training sessions to sign autographs, sign shirts, or take pictures with the fans, and to be open to the public in the literal sense. Good opportunity for fans to come close to their stars. Here's Sebastian Rode in the center of our screen. One of the reasons he joined Bayern Munich, of course, not only to make it to a top club, but was to play for Germany. He's 23 years old. He played for the German under 18s, under 19s, under 20s, and under 21s, but so far no full cap for Germany yet. He joined Bayern on a free transfer from Frankfurt this season. I think a lot of fans have been impressed so far with his performances. 4 Bundesliga games with 1 important assist against Schalke. And he also played in the DFB Cup game against Münster. So far, I think Bastian Rode can be happy with his first couple of months and weeks at Bayern. And the fans can be happy with him. We'll see if and when he achieves his goal, when Joachim Löw calls Pep Guardiola and asks for Sebastian Rode again. A young colleague of his, 21-year-old Juan Bernat, just experienced that call that so many players wait for when Vicente Del Bosque summoned him up for the Spanish national team.
Was? Wer ist drauf? Okay, soll ich irgendwie auf dem Rode bleiben oder hier? Aber dann folge ich dem Ball. Steht aber im Wasser. Doch. Ja, wenn ich dir doch sag. Wahrscheinlich kann nicht.
One man missing from the training today. Dante is here, his former Brazilian national team colleague Rafinha out today, and we hope it's nothing serious. Information will follow shortly on the website. Here, this is 17-year-old Gianluca Gaudino, of whom Pep Guardiola says that he's so quick-minded that he can already easily play for Bayern Munich in midfield. Pep Guardiola talked at length in his last press conference about midfielders and about why a player, for instance, like Xabi Alonso does so well and integrates so quickly. He says in holding midfield, you don't play for yourself, you play for the team. You always have to think about what happens around you. And he cited Gianluca Godino as an example of a talent who can play this game in his head already. A master here in blue is Xabi Alonso. Guardiola talked about how wingers and fullbacks play for themselves to a certain extent because they have to create goal chances on their own. But a man like Xabi Alonso has to play for the team, think about the team. Again, 216 contacts of the ball against Cologne. It's possibly not the most surprising statistic about him. I thought it was even more surprising to read that he runs further than any other Bayern player. He covers a greater distance than anyone else, bar Mario Götze. Both of them, on average, in this season so far, cover 11.5 kilometers distance during a game. Goes to show how fit these players are. Alonso at the age of 32. He's played pretty much in every game for Bayern Munich so far this season. Took over the holding midfield role from Philipp Lahm, who plays next to him now. And after a few fans had wondered about the Alonso transfer, I don't think there are any questions open anymore. As you can see, a beautiful day in Munich. A lot of fans at Munich Siebener Street. And a lot of action on the pitch. It's a little more relaxing. We had the opportunity to talk to Philipp Lahm about these weeks. He, of course, is only part of this training squad for the second time in his career, basically. He played for Germany every single game possible, with very, very few exceptions. And he said, while of course training is hard, you do have a couple of days more off. You don't travel as much as you would for the German national team. And now, for instance, this is the last day of training for the whole weekend. Tomorrow, on Friday, no training. Saturday, Sundays off. And that's, of course, extremely unusual for players like Philipp Lahm, Xabi Alonso, and they really appreciate this. And with age, I think the clubs really benefit from these breaks that these players enjoy. Lahm, interestingly enough, because many people, of course, questioned his retirement, considering that he's so fit. He said it's not so much about the physical strain, but just the mental pressure that you feel all the time, and being in this vicious circle, basically, of having to focus from one game, from one club, and then country to the next all the time, and you're always in this continuously spinning cycle from which you can never switch off and relax. And he said, that's so important for me now, and he really apparently enjoyed the last national team break. Well, let's hope he does that this time as well, and then can play well, as he always does, and help Bayern Munich do very well in the next 7 games. Again, they start Saturday in 8 days with a home match against Werder Bremen. Then we have the Champions League game in Rome, the 3rd game of the Champions League season in Rome. 3 days later, where Bayern Munich have the opportunity to add another 3 points to their so far perfect tally. 2 games, 2 goals scored, 0 conceded, 6 points. After that, again, 4 days later, it's the Bundesliga top match in Borussia Mönchengladbach. Then a DFB Cup game away from home, which on paper I think a lot of fans would consider to be fairly easy, considering how much Hamburg has struggled in the last couple of months in the Bundesliga. But Hamburg achieved a 0-0 against Bayern Munich most recently, so the team is warned. From then on, it's the game of the season for the Bayern fans. November 1st, Allianz Arena, Bayern Munich against Borussia Dortmund. Again, 3 days later, the home match against Rome, and then an away game in Frankfurt before the last national team break of the year 2014 takes place. This is Philipp Lahm next to Xabi Alonso. A couple of free kick exercises here. We hope you enjoyed this live stream of Bayern Munich's training session. Let's see when we can use another opportunity to bring you another training session, maybe with a couple more of the key players on the pitch. Again, Bayern Munich are off now. The next 3 days, no training sessions.